855-211-6294 and say yes to getting the right health care coverage without having to wait for
TV23's Internet, provided by SWKO Wireless Internet. Covering the High Plains with news, weather, and information. From TV23 Studios in Sublette, this is High Plains Today.
Yes, it is. Welcome to High Plains Today, right here on TV23. It is Tuesday, April 24th. On today's show, I'm going to be joined by Senator John Dahl of the 39th District. He is now an independent, and we're going to talk about the wrap-up session coming up in Topeka. Starts on Thursday. In the meantime, let's see what's happening. On April 11th, the Seward County Sheriff's Office, along with KBI, DEA, Finney County Sheriff's Office, the Oklahoma Board of Natural and Dangerous Drugs, Oklahoma District 1 Task Force, and the Beaver County Sheriff's Office ended a 2-month-long narcotics investigation. Several search warrants were conducted in Liberal, and during the 2-month investigation, approximately 10 pounds of methamphetamine was seized. Charges are pending in the state of Kansas, and all arrests were made in Oklahoma. And last Friday afternoon, officers of the Garden City Police Department attempted a traffic stop in the 2400 block of East Kansas for multiple traffic violations. When officers attempted to stop the vehicle, a pursuit ensued, which also involved the Finney County Sheriff's Department. Now, the pursuit traveled north along Garden City onto Highway 5083 bypass. At one point, before reaching the bypass, the suspect vehicle did a U-turn and struck a police vehicle. Now, the suspect went south on the bypass, and once on Jenny Barker Road, the suspect vehicle veered off the road into a field and continued to drive through the field until it struck an irrigation ditch. When officers approached the vehicle, they were able to identify the driver as a person who was wanted on felony warrants for kidnapping, aggravated battery, robbery, domestic battery, computer crimes, theft, and criminal use of a financial card. Now, the suspect was transported to St. Catherine Hospital and was then transported to a Wichita hospital for further treatment. The identity of the suspect has not yet been released, pending his arrest and or charges being filed, which I'm sure there will be more. A bus crash injured the bus driver Friday afternoon north of Elkhart. Kansas Highway Patrol reported 80-year-old Carlisle Brickey of Elkhart was driving a school bus south on Morton County Road 9, about 20 miles north of Elkhart, when the bus dropped off the right edge of the road, glancing off a post at the north end of the bridge and then striking the bridge. Now, the bus then veered off the bridge toward the center of the road, then veered to the right, turning sideways, tipping and rolling. Brickey was taken to the Morton County Hospital. Yesterday, the Kansas Department for Children and Families announced their improvement plans. Secretary Gina Meyer Hummel held a press conference to discuss progress the department has made and plans moving forward. Now, when Meyer Hummel was appointed as secretary back in December, she said children sleeping in offices instead of foster homes was unacceptable, and that problem has persisted. Now, 4 children, 3 in Ford and 1 in Morton counties in southwest Kansas, and dozens across the state have slept in offices during the month of April. And there are also 74 foster kids that still remain missing. Meyer Hummel said yesterday the agency is working every day to combat both issues. Meyer Hummel also said that during the press conference that the agency still hopes to get the $16.5 million in funding that Governor Collier proposed, and they will ask for an additional $24 million in funding. The new funding would go toward hiring over 200 positions that are open and toward a 5% raise for current licensed workers. Secretary of State Chris Kobach affirmed plans last week to appeal a federal judge's order finding him in contempt, and another skeptic of Kobach's role in voting rights litigation responded by submitting an ethics complaint against the Kansas chief election officer. In the aftermath of the contempt of court ruling, a Massachusetts attorney submitted a complaint against Kobach to the Kansas office responsible for investigating allegations of unethical or improper conduct by lawyers. Now, the attorney, Whitfield Larrabee, said Kobach had a history of being dishonest and corrupt. Gobach, who is a candidate for the Republican nomination for governor and proponent of a theory that millions of illegal immigrants committed election fraud in 2016, faces at least 2 other ethics complaints related to his defense of Kansas laws on voting. A bill creating a state program for hemp research in Kansas is now a law. Governor Collier signed the bill last week. The new program will research and test industrial hemp as a new Kansas farm product. Now, the bill also establishes an Alternative Crop Research Act. The act outlines special registration for farmers to grow the industrial hemp and separates hemp from the state's criminal definition of marijuana. And you need something to do tonight? The public is invited to join the Liberal Lions Club this evening at the Pancake House there on 640 East Pancake Boulevard. Well, that's convenient. For their twice-a-year pancake feed. Proceeds from the fundraiser are used for the Lions charitable projects, which include eyeglasses for children and support to the Crossroads Center. The Lions will be serving all-you-can-eat pancakes, sausages, and drinks from 5 to 7 o'clock this evening. You want to go by? Tickets are $7 for adults and $4 for children 10 and under. Now, you can get tickets at the door, so that's not a problem. Or if you know any of the Lions in Liberal, you can get them from them. Sounds like a good deal. Get out and support the Lions tonight. All right, let's look at some of the stuff that's happening. You know what? We've already reached our high for the day. It's a downhill deal from here, but we do have some precipitation on the way. Back to that right after this.
You're watching High Plains Today on TV 23 with host Chris Jewell. TV 23's internet service and 4G live streaming provided by United Wireless. Coverage you deserve. Service you expect. United Wireless.
Hi, I'm Nick Baumgartner, owner of Midwest Barter Exchange.
So what is barter anyway? When we were kids, things were much simpler. Trading one thing for another was something we did at school on a daily basis. As a kid, you didn't have the cash resources to get things you wanted, but you still managed through barter. In today's economy, not every business has the cash required to grow effectively. Prospecting is difficult and time-consuming, leading you to believe things like, I don't have cash to entertain my clients and prospects. There is no money for marketing and advertising, or fixing my work truck, for a new website, social media, printing cards and brochures, mass mailers, accounting, taxes, bookkeeping, consultants, PC repair, dental, radio, TV, legal, alarm system, catering, mechanical, parking, office equipment repair, electricians, networking, medical bills, website, graphic designers, PCs, iPhones, Macs, headshot, plumbing, mechanics, signage, sales training, landscaping, surveillance cameras, leaking roof, and the list goes on. Realizing that running a business can be expensive, many owners and managers have tried to exchange their goods and services for something that they need. Sometimes it works out well. But focusing on trying to make a direct trade is not the best use of your time. Barter exchange takes that struggle away and allows your business to utilize trade in the form of a one-to-many scenario, as opposed to trading directly with another business. We act as a brokerage and marketing firm for companies to grow their business. We can help match businesses to each other with the best fit possible, even if it doesn't mean trading directly with each other. Okay, but how do we keep track of our trade dollars? You can also consider us like a bank, but instead of using cash currency, we utilize barter exchange dollars.
At Midwest Barter, better barter means better business for all of us. You can use Midwest Barter dollars to purchase hundreds of products for your business or personal use without the use of cash.
You can even trade for TV advertising right here on KDGL TV 23.
Now, the local weather forecast for the High Plains.
Looking off over downtown metropolitan Sublette. Remember yesterday? It was pretty sunny. It was nice out. Not much wind. We had temperatures in the 70s for highs yesterday. Not going to be the case today, just saying. All right, right now at the studio, 44 degrees. Relative humidity is pretty high, though, 87%. Winds are out of the north-northwest at 13. They'll be picking up a little bit. Barometric pressure on the rise. Looking at the current temperatures, now you can see just about where this cold front that's coming in from out of Idaho that's going to bring us this rain. you can see right along this line where it is. 66 in Pratt, 63 in Guyman. You get north of that, everybody else in the 40s. Now, everybody's got a pretty good amount of precipitation as you look around the area. Winds are starting to pick up. You can see still down here, Perryton has southwest winds. Guyman at northeast, that front still hasn't pushed through, but they're going to start picking up, and the winds are going to be going around to the northwest. Looking at the highs and lows as recorded at the Garden City Regional Airport yesterday, got to 69 degrees, way short of 96 back in 1989. Yesterday morning, 33, 24 back in 2013. No new precipitation in the bucket as of yet, but that's going to change. Here we go on today. All right, yesterday I said the high was going to be 56. It was in the 50s earlier today. 46, the new high. You can see her at 44. We've already started the downtrend as the cold comes in. 10% chance of precipitation today. Now, this is going to be throughout the day, and once we get to this evening, you can see it's going to pick up. There might be a rumble of thunder out there. Don't worry about that. There's nothing severe. 38 will be the overnight low. Winds are going to stay out of the north at 16. Now, looking at some of these forecasts, totals of rain from the National Weather Service in Dodge City, you can see we might get up to a quarter inch out in Elkhart. I hope so, because you out there, you're the driest of anybody, and you've had the least amount of rain. You can see we might get a half inch around Liberal, and as we go east in the viewing area, it climbs up to about an inch over in Medicine Lodge and Pratt. All right, tomorrow, though, we're still going to have some of those showers maybe hanging around as the sun comes up, but then it's going to clear out, going to be mostly sunny as that front moves off to the east. 58 for the high. Winds are still going to be out of the north-northwest at 15. Then tomorrow night, 36 for the overnight low. Clear skies. Winds will go back around to the south as we start to warm up. You can see on Thursday, we start to climb back up into the 60s and 70s, and by the beginning of next week, we'll be in the 80s. All right, that's a look at the weather. Stick around. I'll be back with Senator Dahl right after this.
Hi, I'm Nick Baumgartner, owner of Midwest Barter Exchange.
So what is barter anyway?
Midwest Barter helps you trade what you have for what you really need.
You can use Midwest Barter dollars to purchase hundreds of products for your business or personal use without the use of cash.
You can even trade for TV advertising right here on KDGL TV 23.
Find out more on our website or call 785-383-4965.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
Are you getting the most out of your Medicare plan? Are you sure? Many people with Medicare are eligible for plans that include extra benefits in addition to those found in original Medicare. Benefits like dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage. Call now to see if you're eligible to enroll. The consultation is free with no obligation to enroll. In addition to hospital and medical coverage, at no extra cost, you could also get coverage for prescription drugs, dental, hearing, vision, and more. In many areas, plans with benefits are available with $0 copays for many services, $0 monthly premiums, or $0 deductibles. That's hospital, medical, prescription drug, dental coverage, and more included in one plan with premiums that may be as low as $0 a month. Call now to see if you're eligible to enroll. The consultation is free and there's no obligation to enroll.
Call 1-800-521-3583. That's 1-800-521-3583.
When you have credit card debt, the debt suckers, high rate and high pay, never leave you alone.
Debt is really sucking the life out of them. He's picking up the phone.
Oh, no, not Consolidated Credit.
With one call, they can lower their credit card rates.
And consolidate their bills into one low payment.
They'll pay off their debt in no time.
Call Consolidated Credit now.
Because debt sucks.
Call 1-800-380-8565. That's 800-380-8565. Call now.
college is great, but before you enroll, which do you think is a better way to earn your degree? Live on campus in a dorm where you can't sleep, with a roommate you can't stand, attend lectures that you can't hear, with cafeteria food that you can't eat, or learn online at Independence University. On the porch with your puppy, in the kitchen with your kitten, on your bed with your bunny, your campus is wherever you want it to be. That's Independence University. And you'll also get a laptop and tablet to use in school, and you can keep them when you graduate.
1-800-274-8142.
Welcome back. He is my buddy, John Dahl. He is the state senator, Garden City, District 39. You are now an independent.
I'm an independent. Briefly, it was after last time I was here.
Yeah, because now you're running with Greg Orman in the gubernatorial race. But we're not going to talk about that today.
Sure.
But anyway, that's what he's doing, if you want to know why he's an independent. But I'm sure everybody out there knows by now.
Well,
so when you became an independent, though, they said, okay, you can't be the chairman of this or that or whatever, too, right?
Well, I was vice chair of education, vice chair of transportation. Initially, they told me that I was going to stay on all my committees. I had 4 committees. By Senate rules, they have to do it by a ratio. And since I'm the only independent, I was removed from my committees, which, we only had a week and a half of committees left.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
So, it wasn't that big of a deal. It's my vote was still the same in the Senate. I don't.
It still counts, right?
My vote still counts. I still feel like I can be a strong voice in the 39th district.
What did you tell me? The last time an independent voted in Topeka was?
I think 1874.
That's a dare to ago.
Yeah, I knew him. No, I'm just kidding.
I might have too, maybe. I don't know. Okay. All right. So this week, though, after today, you're heading back to Topeka today.
Yeah. You told me, when you asked me to come, you told me that Sublette was on my way.
Yeah. It is kind of.
Yeah.
But you guys are getting ready for the wrap-up session.
Right.
The wrap-up of the wrap-up.
This is a veto session, it's called. And we drew a line in the sand that it has to be over May 4th. I don't think that was a good decision to make, but that's what our leadership made. Last year and in the past, there's been times that we have gone as late as June 20th or so. The earliest I think we've been out since I've been up there is May 12th. So if something crazy comes up or something good comes up and the governor vetoes it, we won't have the opportunity to override the veto. They call it a veto override session, so it doesn't make, there's a lot of things that don't make sense. That's one of them. But it's the games that are being played, and the people who suffer the consequences is our constituents. And, if we just go up there and truly get rid of political parties, quit thinking about this group or that group and think of Kansas as a whole, I think we'd be a much better state.
All right. So when you get back up there, though, you can gavel in on Thursday, Friday, whenever it's going to happen. I mean, what's going to be the first thing that's going to walk into the room and everybody's going to go, oh boy, here we go?
Well, it's going to absolutely be school finance. And we passed a bill the 11th hour, the last day we were there.
Oh, yeah, you guys worked. It was dark when you got that baby done, wasn't it?
It was enlightening, and it was heartwarming. While we were there at 12:30 at night, there were 600 teachers in the choir. And when the 21st vote came, you could hear an uproar because they do us by alphabetical order.
Sure.
And when number 21 hit, you heard 600 teachers out in the foyer yelling, screaming, cheering.
That's good.
And it was so neat. It was by far not a perfect school bill. It still hurts. It hurts a lot of our rural schools a lot. But the House version was so much better than the Senate version. The Senate version was put in $250 million versus $500 whatever million. It would have been dead on arrival to the Supreme Court. It should have been. But that's what our Senate Budget Committee came up with, which it was so wrong in so many ways.
But now let's talk about the committee, because there's still a lot of Republicans up there on the far conservative side that didn't want to even do the 250. Did they? They didn't want to even do that.
That was more their bill, their 250. You're going to have some that don't want it. They want private schools, period. They don't or home schools. They want to give vouchers out. They don't understand that Western Kansas that don't work. West of Wichita that doesn't work. So they would have voted for any increase of any sort. 250 was too much for them. But the 250 would have never gotten a Democrat vote. It wouldn't have got a lot of moderate votes. It would have got most of your more far right conservatives would have voted for it because that was kind of their bill. That's what, when they put that Senate Education Budget Committee together, they knew that what they were doing. That's who they put on it. I wasn't asked.
But gee, imagine that. All right. So, but if that bill, the 250, would have gotten through, what you're saying though is it had got to the Supreme Court and they'd have went out of here, right?
It was dead on arrival, and I can't imagine it passing either the Senate on the floor or the House on the floor. But if it would have happened to pass, and the governor would have signed it, which I don't think he would have, because he knew it was dead on. There was no way that bill was going to go anywhere, and we spent hours and hours and hours on it. It's something that we need to talk about. It's this constitutional amendment because they held us. We didn't work the education.
They were holding you guys hostage on that, weren't they?
They were
the
not.
president and
They
stuff?
were not going to work any education bill until the constitutional amendment, which would have been horrendous for Western Kansas, would have passed both houses. That was the only time when they were going to bring the education bill up. Finally, they relented on that on the very last day. And so we were there until, the last day ended up going into the next day, but, on the record, it showed that, midnight never really
Okay,
came.
so about this constitutional amendment, now that would have been, it would have had to been put on the ballot, right?
It would have had.
And the state of Kansas, we would have had to all vote on that.
It would have had to pass both houses by 2/3.
Okay.
And then it goes to the people. They have to pass it by 2/3. Then it becomes law. And once it's in the Constitution, it's really hard to remove.
See, and that confuses me because it still looks like to me that we got a bunch of them up there. I mean, the Supreme Court is there for checks and balances reasons, and if somebody brings a lawsuit against the state, they have to decide stuff and that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But if you don't like how the game's being played, this looks to me like, we want to change the rules.
They were taking judicial review away from the Supreme Court. There's two things that they were, adequacy and equitability. And they were going to take the equitability away from the courts. So the legislature, because they're tired of these lawsuits, which we all are tired of these lawsuits. If we want to go back in history and go back to 2005 and when they passed Gannon, that was the magic bullet. But 2008, we get hit by a recession. So schools voluntarily cut the money. We were to make that back up when the recession, because it always goes in cycles. Well, in 2012, we passed this horrendous tax plan. We have never funded the schools according to Gannon, or Montoy. So then the Gannon case comes. So if we would have given the schools what we were told them we'd given from 2005 on, that would be where they're at now. They'd still be getting shorted with the new education plan, what would have been with the Montoy decision. So we get so angry with the courts, we're going to shut them down. For us, especially in rural Kansas, I cannot emphasize enough that the Supreme Court is our friend. 88% of the population lives within an hour of Wichita or Kansas City. So without the Supreme Court, we not only would it affect school issues, it could affect any issue. They could sit there and say, if you don't vote for us, we're going to cut this from your schools, because if all of them get together, if all the people in the Wichita and Kansas City get it together, we can't stop any legislation. The only way we can stop it is if the court says that's unconstitutional.
Yeah.
So it's so important that we allow the courts to do their job.
All right, we got about a minute to go. Now, so when you guys get up there, this is going to be the first thing you're going to tackle. Well, you got to fix the $80 million math there, which that'll be an easy deal, right?
Should be.
And then you should be able to wrap up on education, and then off we go.
Should be. You never say, you always, that's a bad term to use, that should be easy, because you cursed it. So that'll turn into a train wreck of some sort.
Always happens?
It seems like it. Seems like it.
Okay. So you get all that done, then you're just going to kind of wrap up some other stuff, but education is going to be the biggie, right?
It should be.
And you were telling me, though, we shouldn't have to raise taxes on it.
Well, they're going to bring up bringing, because of our revenues came in
Yes.
so big, our leadership is going to they're going to propose to cut taxes, which we're way too early. At some point in time, maybe, but we got to see how this all shakes out.
All right. Come back and see me when you get done,
All
will
right.
you?
Okay, thank you.
Here, yeah, I like you, John. All right. Thanks, John, and we'll be back with more right after this.
Watch these magnificent honeybees, staying busy pollinating the world and making honey while they do it. But these bees are suffering. The Wi-Fi in their hive is slow and buffers constantly. They struggle to watch their shows on Netflix and surf Pinterest. Bees hate that. So what do you do if you're a buffering bee? You switch to Pioneer Communications, who offer 50 megabit internet that's as sweet as honey. They've made the jump, and so can you. Pioneer Communications, your community connected.
When you have credit card debt, the debt suckers, high rate and high pay, never leave you alone.
Debt is really sucking the life out of them.
Yes, they look like that, warmed over.
He's picking up the phone, probably calling his uncle to borrow money.
Thank you for calling Consolidated Credit.
Oh, no, not Consolidated Credit.
With one call, they can lower their credit card rates.
And consolidate their bills into one low payment.
They'll pay off their debt in no time. Put down the phone.
Put down the phone. Order a pizza.
With extra red sauce. That Consolidated Credit makes it too quick and easy to get rid of us.
Thanks to Consolidated Credit, there can be life after that.
Call Consolidated Credit now and get your life back.
Because debt sucks.
Call 1-800-357-5733. 800-357-5733. That's 800-357-5733. Call now.
College is great, but before you enroll, which do you think is a better way to earn your degree? Live on campus in a dorm where you can't sleep, with a roommate you can't stand, attend lectures that you can't hear, with cafeteria food that you can't eat, or learn online at Independence University. On the porch with your puppy, in the kitchen with your kitten, on your bed with your bunny, your campus is wherever you want it to be. That's Independence University. And you'll also get a laptop and tablet to use in school, and you can keep them when you graduate.
1-800-274-8142.
All right. Hey, the Dodge City Red Demons, they competed at the Bueller Invitational Track Meet in Bueller on Saturday. The girls' team took second place. They had 109 points. They were behind Hutchinson, who finished with 159. And the Hutchinson boys, they also won their side of the meet. The Red Demons boys team finished sixth with 54 points. There you go. A little track wrap up on this cool day. 44 degrees, relative humidity 87%. Winds are picking up out of the northwest at 24 as that front slides in. Going to bring us some rain, though. Barometric pressure is on the rise. All right, as this rolls in, now we have a chance of some precipitation going into tonight, but the major part of this is going to happen probably after you go to sleep or after dark tonight into tomorrow. We're going to start warming up towards the weekend. Go out, have a great day. See you next time.
Keep up to date with the latest information from TV23 on our Facebook page, KDGL TV.
Are you a Kansas college student considering a career in broadcasting? Well, listen up. If in the fall you'll be entering your junior or senior year at a Kansas four-year college or your sophomore year at a Kansas two-year college and are enrolled in a broadcast program, you may qualify for a scholarship from the Kansas Association of Broadcasters. Application deadlines May 1st. For details, go to KAB.net and click on Student Services. Sponsored by the member stations of the Kansas Association of Broadcasters.
Are you in charge of fundraising for your soccer or baseball team, preschool, elementary, high school, cheerleaders, dance teams, or scouts? Are you all out of ideas? DollarsForYou.com is here to get the dollars for you. Visit DollarsForYou.com and look at all the fast and easy fundraising ideas together in one place. DollarsForYou.com is a Kansas-owned business that has been helping groups raise thousands of dollars for more than 30 years. Check out our trash bag special right now with 40 to 50% profit with bags 150% stronger than Glad or Hefty in team colors, and they're made right here in Kansas. Guaranteed moneymakers include tumblers, cookies, chocolates, and there's no upfront cost. We've got favorites like cookies from Mrs. Fields and Otis Spunkmeyer, signature chocolates, Poppin' Popcorn, and School Spirit tumblers. Peggy and her team have the experience to help your team meet your fundraising goals quickly and easily. Visit DollarsForYou.com today and let us help get more dollars for you.
When you have credit card debt, the debt suckers, high rate and high pay, never leave you alone.
Debt is really sucking the life out of them. He's picking up the phone.
Oh no, not Consolidated Credit.
With one call, they can lower their credit card rates.
And consolidate their bills into one low payment.
They'll pay off their debt in no time.
Call Consolidated Credit now.
Because debt sucks.
Call 1-800-380-8565. That's 800-380-8565. Call now.
Portions of TV23's Internet provided by SWKO Wireless Internet. Covering the High Plains with news, weather, and